Hello and welcome to Cargo Masterminds, presented by Cargo.one.
I am a big fan.
We wanted to be a part of it. So it's an incredible opportunity.
It was exactly what we needed.
It's really exciting.
When we found out, we were just blown away.
I would say it's perfect for every freight forwarder to use this.
It gives us advantage.
I would encourage my colleagues to go to Cargo.one.
Opinion, it is really a must to have.
I believe this system should be used by every forwarder. Everybody can be a digital forwarder by using Cargo.one. It's just been fantastic.
Cargo Masterminds is our exclusive one-to-one weekly interview series with leaders from the world's leading air cargo and logistic companies. My name is Reji John. From its origins as a small regional freight operator established in 1946, Cathay Pacific Airways has grown to become one of the world's leading combination cargo carriers and has helped to build Hong Kong into the world's busiest air cargo hub. In 2023, Cathay announced the rebrand of its cargo business to Cathay Cargo. The change aligns with the airline's overarching brand redesign and reinforces the existing strong brand association and perceptions held by its customers. The rebrand connects Cathay Cargo to the Master Cathay brand, a premium travel lifestyle brand offering a range of products and services that create more value for customers and partners. All of Cathay Pacific's cargo operations are grouped under its cargo unit. The pandemic saw the Hong Kong headquartered carrier being hit the longest and the deepest. Few major airlines in the world were hit by the COVID pandemic as hard as Cathay or have labored so mightily to recover from it. To talk about Cathay Cargo's fight to emerge from the long shadow of COVID and what the last quarter of the year and the year ahead look like, I am joined by Tom Owen, Director of Cathay Cargo. Tom has been with Cathay since 1995, and in September 2020, right in the midst of the pandemic, he was appointed as the Director of Cathay Cargo. Tom leads all aspects of Cathay Pacific Group's cargo strategy and performance, including Cathay Pacific Cargo dedicated freighter and passenger belly fleet operations, Air Hong Kong, Global Logistics Systems, and Cathay Pacific Services Limited, Cathay's dedicated cargo terminal operator in Hong Kong. Tom Owen, the cargo mastermind of this episode, joins us from Hong Kong. Tom, great to have you for this conversation.
Thank you, Reji. It's great to be here.
Tom, let's look at the traffic figures available for the last 3 months. There has been a consistent growth in the volume of cargo carried in July, August, and September, the September being 119,963 tons. Do you expect the growth momentum and the growth trend to continue for the remaining 3 months, the last quarter of 2023?
In short, yes, we do. We're approaching the traditional year-end peak X, the Greater Bay Area and surrounding areas, and that is looking in reasonable shape. We're also fortunate that we are still rebuilding our capacity after COVID hit us, as you know, and we were one of the carriers that hit the longest and the deepest. And so this time last year, we weren't operating many wide bodies. So the growth in tonnage is driven by both the market, but primarily actually because we have a lot more capacity available to sell this year, and we will have in the last quarter of the year than last year.
From a Cathay Cargo perspective and from a Hong Kong perspective, do you expect to see a peak season?
Yes, we are seeing a peak season, and it is encouraging to see that although some of the more traditional shipments that we would carry across through Hong Kong around tech, garments, etc., are weaker, the e-commerce phenomenon is strong and has continued to grow post-COVID.
And are you seeing demand strengthening, particularly on your Trans-Pacific network?
Yes, we are seeing demand growing. I said it's primarily around e-commerce products that are being shipped in good quantities by air through Hong Kong, through our Hong Kong hub, to North American consumers. And there's been an encouraging uptick of that as the year end approaches, and families are purchasing stuff online for obviously the end of the year, and also the retailers are restocking.
Tom, what market intelligence are you collecting, given that there is a positive sign that the US business sees strong demand heading into the holiday season, and are worried about running out of inventory, which you actually mentioned in the previous answer? Do we expect to see some shifts in volumes meant for ocean freight to air?
I'm not sure we'll see shifts from sea to air, but what we have seen is the demand for air anyway grow. And as a result, we've been increasing our capacity on the Trans-Pacific lanes over the last couple of months, and will continue to do so through November and early December.
And do you have your main deck and belly capacity back to what they were in pre-COVID? If not, when do you expect that you will have that full capacity back with you?
Yes, we're building our capacity as quickly as we can to respond to the market. We are going to be around 85% of our cargo capacity, that is combined freighter and belly space, by the end of this year.
Give us a sense of your key cargo markets in the world, and within that, the top cargo markets, and where does India fit in?
Yeah, well, India is a terribly important market for us, and it's in our top three. Our main markets being in Hong Kong, blessed with a great location, sort of sitting in the middle of the main trade lanes, Asia to America, Asia to Europe, of course. And then we have Asia to India and the subcontinent, intra-Asia, and then ex-America back to Asia. There are sort of our main markets. And I said Hong Kong being geographically well-positioned to capture those trade flows.
No, but I remember a couple of months back, I did an interview with you when you visited India, and we did talk about the importance of India as a market within the global freighter or Cathay network. Give us a sense of the destination that you cover within India and the number of freighter operations that you have.
Yeah, so we currently operate between 15 and 20 freighters a week for India, and it goes up and down depending on the demand specifically. We operate currently to 3 cities, but will be 4 cities from the 1st of February. And on the passenger side, we operate wide-body aircraft into India, carrying between 15, 25 tons of cargo, depending on the circumstances. So we operate a range of aircraft, 330s, 350s, and the big 777s. We operate Bangalore, Delhi, Bombay, and we're looking forward to relaunching or restarting Chennai in early next year.
And give us a sense of your current global freighter network. How many destinations do you connect, and what is the total number of freighter flights you operate per week?
So we operate, again, seasonally, but between about 95 and 105 freighters a week. We flex up during peak seasons and where we have opportunities for discrete demand. And on the passenger side, we operate between 750 and 800 wide bodies flights a week around all parts of the globe. On the cargo front, we have about 42 unique destinations that we serve at the moment.
Tom, let's talk about your key verticals. I think e-commerce looks to be the biggest volume player in your network. And what are the key trade lanes for your cross-border e-commerce shipment?
Yeah, I mean, e-commerce has been a pleasant surprise after COVID, and it continues to be strong. We estimate anywhere between 50, 60% possibly of our current ex-Greater Bay Area Hong Kong cargo is related to e-commerce. And our main trade lanes are really the Trans-Pacific lane to the US, East and West Coast. Although having said that, there's also e-commerce flying down into Southeast Asia and into Europe as well. And I think in the main hubs of Hong Kong, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, etc., are all seeing that opportunity. But Hong Kong, with its big network and great connectivity and seamless transfers, has meant that it's benefited significantly in the last year post-COVID from e-commerce growth.
Tom, you operate a fleet of big birds, 747s, 14 747-8s, and 6 747 400 ERFs. Is there going to be any change in the freighter fleet mix in the near future?
Our freighter fleet is actually young. It's 10 to 12 years average age at the moment, with the Dash 8s, some of the later ones off the production line. So we're in no particular hurry to change that. That said, of course, we need to remain relevant to scale sufficient to reward our forwarders and provide our relevance to the market. But we haven't got anything particularly to announce at this time on future orders.
On to your plan for the Air Hong Kong fleet. So there are 15 freighters, Airbus 300s and 330s. You have an operating lease expiring for 2 of the 300s of this year and for 6 300s in 2024. What is the plan for revamping the Air Hong Kong fleet?
Yeah, so exactly. So by the end of next year, we'll be 100% 330 freighter fleet. We're removing the older 300 aircraft. That is primarily because the Asian logistics hub, which we operate for DHL with our Air Hong Kong flights, is a strong one for express cargo. And on the back of the expanded DHL operation in terms of terminal capacity, we have the ability to upgrade our freighter network and capacity. So yes, all 330 freighter by the end of next year.
So by the end of next year, you will still have the total number of 15 freighters?
Currently, it's 15, but obviously we're looking to see opportunities for growth when they emerge with DHL.
Tom, tell us how Cathay Cargo plans to proliferate the digital transformation programs to optimize your assets, capacity, and revenue to make it pervasive across your network, market, and partners. You've been one of the front runners in terms of digital transformation of your processes.
In a nutshell, we've had our focus on digital expansion and development for the last 3 or 4 years, an investment program that has key KPIs every year and carries through until 2025, at which point we'll re-engage and redevelop that. I think a few areas to focus on. One is what we call digital cargo, which is everything around the cargo operation being digitized, removing paper and increasing automation. There's another angle around the digital linkage with our freight forwarders. That involves booking engines, track and trace, and enhancing our website and digital experience for freight forwarders and shippers to use. And finally, there's the area of the way we communicate in terms of the technology and the messaging that we use, where we're very much leading the charge to equip ourselves to be one record capable by 2026 across all of our processes.
Give us any sense of maybe a special focus on this in terms of investment, in terms of the vision, the larger, bigger vision for Cathay Cargo on the digitalization front.
We've been investing in our own booking capability, and we'll continue to invest in the ability for our freight forwarders to actually change and update and manage their own bookings as they make them going forward, much like we can do on the passenger side. So that'd be one key focus. We're trying to create our website as a digital cargo hub, really, with all the needs and wants of our forwarders satisfied through our online offering through cathaycargo.com. I think we're also looking to work a second point with our freight forwarder community and trying to bring our own linkages to their linkages into the warehouse operation, so we can ensure that we understand where the cargo is and the condition, etc. And finally, I mentioned to you before, we work with One Record to try and build that messaging out across our processes.
Yeah, the IATA One Record is a remarkable, very significant pilot scheme with the Airport Authority Hong Kong to offer IATA One Record protocols for international sea-to-air cargo acceptance logged outside the origin airport's cargo terminal. That's at the Hong Kong International Airport, a logistic park in the Greater Bay Area for export from Hong Kong. Give us a sense of how this particular project is actually progressing.
The One Record trial we did would involve basically Demerco, Cathay Cargo at the Airport Authority, and we were the first airline to do a One Record trial using sea to air. The actual facility we're doing it out of is in Dongguan, which is right in the heart of the Greater Bay Area, where a lot of the production is made for global trade, for e-commerce and other things. The concept is now being well established and has been operating for several months now successfully. Pre-screening and security checks of cargo up in the Chinese mainland in GBA and Dongguan, and then moving it down the Pearl River by barge straight to HKIA, the airport, where it will go straight onto the relevant aircraft that's taking the cargo out of Hong Kong. Or if it needs to dwell a bit longer, we'll be going to our cargo terminal. The Cathay Cargo terminal will be taken out to the flight required. The benefits really are a lower cost for freight forwarders in the GBA. It's 50% of the handling costs in the terminal, or the published handling costs, and also a seamless and an easy transit experience given the expedited cargo customs clearance and screening upstream. So it's been a good trial so far, and it's got some great opportunity ahead. We're about to turn on the inbound to encourage imports into the GBO too.
When do you expect to do that inbound?
We expect to turn that on by the end of this year and start selling inbound on the Cathay Cargo network through to GBA.
Can you share with any sense of the volume of cargo moving under this project?
It's been building month over month. We're roughly up to about 1.5 to 747 loads a week, which is not, as significant as it needs to be. But a lot of the teething problems are now ironed out, and a lot of the issues with customs that have been worked through. Great cooperation between governments, between the airport authority, and between the airlines and the terminals. So we expect that growth to continue to grow. It's month over month growth at the moment, and it's looking very positive.
What is the feedback from your forwarders? I believe that the scheme is open to Hong Kong freight forwarders that are regulated agents. How many of them do you have as of now?
We have about 50 agents now that are able to use that terminal, and we're adding them every month. The feedback's been overall positive. I think the number of sailings and the speed of the vessels needs to continue to improve, which it will, but they appreciate the lower costs of the handling and the seamless connectivity that we've been developing with the sea-to-air facility. And it's just part really of an overall improvement in our connections with the Greater Bay Area, which is obviously a key focus for Cathay Cargo's future.
So I'd like to end the conversation now. We're still about 45 days to end the year. 2024 is very close to us. What's the sense that you get in terms of global air freight market? Is there anything that does both in terms of tailwinds and headwinds?
I think headwinds are obviously the wider concern around international trade that we talk about a lot in regard to the economic situation of the globe, right? And what's that's doing to air cargo. But I think the tailwinds that are pushing us along are in other sectors, such as I mentioned a couple of times in this chat, e-commerce, international global e-commerce, which shows them currently no signs of slowing down in terms of growth, but also areas such as perishable cargo into the Chinese mainland and pharmaceuticals, which are also two other verticals we've been investing in heavily over the last few years at Cathay Cargo. So like all these things, Reji, the cargo market is up and down. It's very cyclical, and we're ready for and agile for anything that's thrown our way as the year comes to an end, and also next year.
Tom, it was such a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was Tom Owen, Director of Cathay Cargo. I hope you enjoyed watching this interview. If yes, like, comment, share, and recommend this series to your friends. And more important, if you're not a subscriber of our YouTube channel, please do subscribe now and click the bell icon so that you do not miss any of our new videos. An audio podcast of this series is available on Spotify and on Amazon Music. I highly recommend you to check them out. Join me next Monday for another episode of Cargo Masterminds presented by Cargo.one. Until we meet again, have a great week ahead. Thank you.